right. Welcome everyone to the June 16th edition of the Scotts Valley Unified School District Board meeting. I call this meeting to order at 6:12 p.m. If you would all please join me in rising for the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic, one nation, indivisible. All for joining us this summer edition. All right, so closed session action report. We had 3 agenda items tonight for existing litigation case 14776. The board has given direction to the special education team regarding this case number 14776 to approve a settlement agreement for up to $120,000 to support a student with special needs for the 26-27 school year. This agreement will include the following services within the home program: academic, behavioral, speech therapy, occupational therapy, and counseling. Those services will be included in this program. Vote was unanimous in support with trustee Boca-Nessler absent. All right, next up, number 2, existing litigation case 13086. We received an update on the current situation of the case and provided direction for next steps. And we discussed Superintendent Krause's goals for the 25-26 school year. I will make a couple of comments about that later on in my own comments. All right, moving to number 4, the numbering wrong, but setting the agenda. Can I get a motion? Is there anything to change from staff? Trustees, anything you would like to change on the agenda? All right, can I get a motion to approve the agenda, please?
I motion. Oh, go ahead.
So moved.
I'll second.
Very good. All in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. Motion carries. Thank you very much. We then move to board update and discussion. All right, Stephanie.
Hey, well, thank you everyone for being here tonight, and those of us following on Zoom tonight. Thank you for being here, especially during the summer break. I don't have too much to report since the last board meeting. Last board meeting seems it was like quite some time ago. I do my desk work, my board desk work, just emails, phone calls, and all that stuff. In addition, I volunteered for the Scotts Valley Ed Foundation at the last Food Truck Friday. For those of you that are not aware, Food Truck Friday is held every month at the last Friday of each month. It is a fun family community event. Scotts Valley Ed Foundation sells the drinks, beer, wine, soda, water, and 100% of the proceeds go back into our Scotts Valley schools. And this year, the funds that are going will be used to pay for our libraries in our district at all schools. So thank you, Scotts Valley Ed Foundation, and all supporting this event that we do, Food Truck Friday. I also want to give a shout out to Laughing Monk as they donate all the beer to Food Truck Friday. So thank you very much, Laughing Monk. And I will be at the next Food Truck Friday volunteering, and that will be on June 26th. So if you haven't had the opportunity to come out and see us, been there, it's a great event, a lot of fun things to do.
Very good, thank you. Also, trustees, I know we're kind of settling into this new system, so I just want to remind you all to eat the microphone as you are giving your updates, okay? Because otherwise you cut out and then we don't have a good recording, and we also don't have good, the Zoom folks can't hear us. You cut out a couple times, and you can kind of tell when you cut out, like if I go anymore, and now you do hear me, right? Okay, so hopefully with your own ears, you can see whether or not you're being picked up by the microphone, okay? Gary.
Well, I attended graduation at the high school and also at the middle school, and then on vacation. Thank you.
Short and sweet. All right, thank you, Gary. Lucia.
Hi, everyone. So yeah, first off, congratulations to everyone on the end of the school year. I unfortunately was not able to attend the graduation ceremonies this year, but I was with all of you in celebration. I was at a work conference in Dallas. It was very hot and very humid. I would much rather have been here with all of you. I also attended the California Literacy Conference. And I do want to just highlight for us some of the things that were highlighted that I think will be important for us as a board. One of the strongest themes throughout the conference was that implementation matters more than adoption. So as California, we're supposed to be getting ready for a 2027 literacy adoption. And really, the biggest message that I heard were, districts across California are recognizing that purchasing a curriculum or launching a new initiative is only the first step. The real work is ensuring that teachers have the support, the professional learning, and the resources necessary to implement those programs effectively and improve student outcomes. Now, we haven't even started math adoption, so I'm assuming this will come eventually for us as a district. But another major theme was the importance of supporting multilingual learners intentionally, so that alignment between ELA and ELD, the roadmap, the new roadmap was really, really emphasized. This idea that language development is not the responsibility of one program or development. And lastly, there was a real huge emphasis on adolescent literacy. So what are we doing at the middle school and high school in supporting kids' literacy when they're not meeting the grade level standards? And again, as a board, you all know literacy is my life's work. But it's important that we continue to ask not only what initiatives we're implementing, but also how are we measuring their impact. So Kathy, thank you for the amazing presentation that you put together. I did read all 30 pages of your documents, especially because it just really applied to this work that I've been leaning into heavily. I think that's it for me. Thanks.
Great, thank you, Lucia. Great. Thanks for sharing your insights from the conference. All right, I was happy this year to be able to attend all 4 of our promotion and graduation ceremonies. Even though Scotts Valley weather continues to not disappoint with a surprise nearly every year, and boy, was it coming down for our rainy elementary school promotions. But the kids still got through it. They were almost all smiling, and the parents had lots of umbrellas. So again, true to form, everybody made it work. It was fun to watch. I also volunteered at the last Food Truck Friday. I always enjoy those things, fun helping raise money for schools while also enjoying good music and seeing a lot of happy folks and families together. I attended in Sacramento, oh no, this was virtual this time. I attended the June CSBA Legislative Committee meeting virtually, and I continued to advocate for LCFF reforms. Unfortunately, AB 1204, which would have the best shot at reforming LCFF in a way that would help Scotts Valley, is not looking likely to pass because of the price tag. And there are some good reasons. It is a boatload of things, but I will be working over the summer to continue to work on, well, when AB 1204 doesn't pass, what do we do next? And then, as I mentioned earlier in the closed session report, we completed our review of Superintendent Krause's goals for 25-26. And I gained the permission of both the board and Superintendent Krause to share a couple of points that I wanted to make public. First of all, for the terms of Superintendent Krause's contract, she did not receive a pay increase this year. Since we weren't able to give our staff a pay increase, that's the Me Too portion, but the baseline increase this year for her was 0%. So she would only have gained an increase if there had been an increase that we gave to our teachers. And since we all know that did not happen, she did not receive any salary increase. And secondly, though she was entitled to it, she also volunteered to not receive the one-time bonus that staff will receive. So I wanted to let that be known publicly, and I appreciate that, Superintendent Krause. Thank you for your efforts there. I also wanted to point out we've still got staffing challenges, and Superintendent Krause will be working hard this summer, sacrificing, I think it's 12 days that you were entitled to take off that she won't be taking off. I also want to point that out. And most importantly, from the whole board, we want to publicly thank you, Superintendent Krause, for another great year where you leaned into so many situations to ensure positive outcomes. As you like to put it, you tried not to let any balls drop. And there were lots of balls that were up in the air this year. So despite all the short staffing that we had, thank you for your efforts. Very much appreciate that. And that concludes my report. Over to you.
You. Good evening to our 3 audience members here tonight at the last regularly scheduled board meeting for the 25-26 school year. I will also give a few highlights since our last board meeting, some of which are repeats. So our last day of school was just a few days after our last board meeting, as you may recall. And it was the rainiest day I think we had in 4 months. The only day in May that it rained, because why not? So both 5th grade promotions were held in the rain. Schools adapted by trying to provide cover, and parents came out early in the morning and completely redid the plan. And shout out to all of the parents that helped us at both Brook Knoll and Vine Hill to make it a nice celebration for the 5th graders. It would have been really nice to have multi-purpose rooms at that point someday. Then later that afternoon, we went back and forth on whether to hold the high school graduation inside or outside. And we realized that we would have limited seating if it was inside. So then we moved it outside, then we had to move it later. It was a full day of events. And so again, I want to thank all the parents that came out in their muck boots and literally took blowers and blew rainwater off of the chairs, so that people had a graduation to celebrate. And it ended up being a lovely graduation in a new location that I think is now going to be the new permanent location for our graduation ceremonies. Then the next day, we held the middle school promotion. And as mentioned that night, Food Truck Friday was that evening. And that was the end of May. So even though school's been out, we've had a very busy few weeks since that time. We held our end of the year leadership team meetings over 2 days. We reviewed a lot of data, a lot of information. And we will continue those meetings at the end of July, which is about a month away. We also will continue to hold construction meetings weekly and are trying to make progress on all fronts there. We've also been holding interviews for vacant positions and tying up all of the end of the year reports. On tonight's agenda, you will see the culmination of some of those big projects, LCAP, budget, and bond project items that are on the consent agenda. As you can see, we have a skeletal crew this evening, as this week concludes many administrators' work year calendars. So with that, we will move on to the agenda.
Thank you very much, Tanya. Santa Cruz CSBA, there has been no meeting since our last meeting, so nothing to report there. Moving on to the next item, the SVEA report. I assume that's why Julie is here tonight. Thank you, Julie.
Okay, no buttons to push or anything like that? Okay, well, I'm going to take the Gary approach to my report today. Just one thing to report. On Thursday this week, a few of us local presidents will be meeting with John Laird at 9 o'clock to discuss Prop 98 and the release of the $3.18 billion in funds. And also, I never hesitate to mention our funding problem with the cost of living on our Central Coast. I've brought it up to him a couple times, and I will continue to bring it up to him. And if anyone's interested in going, there's other people going, but if any of you are interested in going, let me know, and I can maybe get you in on that meeting if you're interested, Thursday at 9 o'clock. And that's it. That's my report. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for you and your team meeting with Senator Laird. Really appreciate that. And I think I will take a look at my calendar. Oh no, Thursday at 9? No, can't do that. Maybe not. All right, I'll check.
So,
All right.
quick question. So Julie, if we're interested, then we reach out to you? Okay, thank you.
Excellent. SVEF report? Stephanie?
I kind of gave that in my
Yeah.
report, but next Food Truck Friday will be on 26th. Hope to see you there.
Very good. Thank you. Other subcommittee reports. The bond subcommittee did meet. Gary, if you want to give a few tidbits.
Can I scream at this meeting? I'm ready to fire the architects. I'll just say it straight up. It's my personal take. That isn't necessarily other people's take, but my opinion that we're not getting what we paying them for and what they contract to do.
Let's clarify which architects you're talking about.
Oh,
Because we have one architectural firm that I think we're pretty happy with.
yes, TBP.
You're talking elementary architecture.
Yes, the elementary architects, I'm very
Just want
upset
to
with.
make that clear. Shout out to Verde. You're doing a great job.
Thanks for clarifying that. I guess the film across my eyes because I was so upset with them. I wasn't thinking straight. But high school things are coming along very well, in my opinion. Construction is moving along very well. Bothman's doing great. We, like with any construction, you run into problems. There's always unforeseen things, but they're handling it well, getting it done. Really, you can't be any happier as far as the progress on the high school. Question is the elementary schools and the architects there holding us up.
Right. I guess the only thing I would add, though, is we do have a couple of items on consent tonight that do show we're doing work on the elementaries as much as we possibly can, despite all the delays. So there is progress being made. You're not going to see it as much because it's interior stuff, but it is progress.
But I would say all of those items are being self-performed by the district.
Yeah, no, it's a good point to point out. I just want the taxpayers to.
Oh, you mean no help from the architects? Amazing.
Okay, I'm feeling like I'm in a ping pong match here. Okay, excellent. Okay, thank you, McGarry. Moving on to matters from the public. I don't see any blue slips tonight. Is that correct? And do we have any hands raised? Do I need to read anything about Zoom? Okay, because I had all these things highlighted that I was going to mention tonight for the first time since we published the Zoom link publicly for the first time. But in the interest of brevity, I'll move on. Okay, moving to administration, K, number 1, 2425, Measure V Parcel Tax Oversight Committee Report, which brings our other guest in the audience to the podium tonight.
So I will kick off this item. We annually bring forward a report from the Parcel Tax Oversight Committee to the board. And tonight, Sue Roth, who is the vice chair of the Oversight Committee, is here to present that report to you. Sue.
Well, it's nice to be back.
Thank you.
Been in those seats for where it was for 12 years.
Mhm.
And anyway, I'm very happy to see we're still full operation and going forward on some projects that have taken quite a while.
Yep.
Anyway, this is a report on Measure V, the parcel tax. And this is for the fiscal year 2024-25. Highlights. There were 6,573 taxable parcels as of June 30th, 2024. The amount collected was $1,104,206. Let's start again. $1,104,264,000. Okay, of the entire parcels which exist in the district, which is 7,991, of those parcels, there were 1,418 that were exempt in some way, shape, or form. The parcel tax that we voted in was $168 per year. The senior exemption was $275, which was more than in the previous years requested, which equaled $46,200. So under the Teeter Act in the county, they give us the entire amount in case there are people that haven't put their money in or sent it in. So we're always guaranteed that. Let's see. of the expenses, the revenues, the expenses that will come out of that will be $725,355 for certificated salaries. There will be none put towards classified salaries this year. And the employee benefits for the certificated is $375,793, which totals up
There you
to over $1 million. There were 0 delinquencies for the county, but that wouldn't affect us anyway,
go. Love the teeter plan.
under the teeter plan.
Yeah, and we love the teeter plan.
Yes, and I did ask Tanya, can the county say they don't wish to participate in that? And I guess it's a process, and we would be well aware of it before it ever happens. For the budget for 2025-26, what is being suggested the total will be $1,099,728. The certificated salaries will receive $750,000. The classified salaries will receive $50,000, with the total employee benefits for both of those at $299,728. So we did meet twice, and great committee, and we're very happy that this has passed and is now in place for what will be the next 6 years now. So are there any questions?
No.
So I just wanted to highlight a couple things. One is, as Sue mentioned, this year was the highest number of senior exemptions we've ever had, even since Measure A. You can see that from 2019-20. And the number of taxable parcels has gone up, but the amount of money that is held back based on senior exemptions has more than doubled, right? But because of the teeter plan, we are guaranteed our 1.1 million. So if there are delinquencies, the district doesn't have to go after those people to pay the bills, the county does. So this year, all of the dollars went to certificated benefits and salaries, as Sue mentioned. But the language does allow us to also classified salaries. None of these are administrators. So any questions for Sue? Other than what we've shared? You have the entire plan, the parcel tax report. These are just the highlighted pages 5, 6, and 7 that we received from our SCI consultants, as well as the spreadsheet put together by Veronica Flournoy that she has done year over year for our parcel tax measures. So this is a report that the board accepts. If there aren't any other questions, so accepted.
Trustees, any questions? Okay, well, on behalf of the board, Sue, please thank the committee for their work this year. We appreciate their oversight and making sure that things are being done properly. And thank you for your report.
And keep up the good work.
All right.
This
Thank
is
you.
a great school district.
Yep. All right, moving on to human resources. Number 1, approve the tentative agreement between the Scotts Valley Unified School District and the Scotts Valley Education Association.
Hello, everybody. Mike Hansen, HR Director for Scotts Valley Unified. And I'm here to ask you to approve the tentative agreement that was made between the school district and Scotts Valley Education Association on May 27th of this year. It was our 5th negotiating session for the 25-26 school year, and we were able to come to terms to close out negotiations for this year. The cost of the agreement is detailed in the board agenda. Our adopted budget will be updated with those costs at the 45-day budget revision. We're still waiting on the state to finalize its budget before we can have those numbers and put it all together. With your approval, which we hope to gain tonight, we will move on to look forward to next year where we will be sunshining and engaging with SVA in the fall.
Very good. Thank you, Mike, for the update. Trustees, any questions? Questions from the vast public? Okay. Very good. Well then, again, thank you, Mike, and thank you, SBEA, for the negotiation sessions this year. I think you all know we would have rather been able to do more, but we also have to remain financially prudent. And we are looking forward to the close of the budget that is currently being discussed and the potential opportunities that presents for us in the coming year. All right, well then, can I get a motion to approve?
I motion to approve.
Very good.
I second.
Excellent. Very good. You held me there just in suspense for a moment. Thank you all. All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Aye. None opposed. Very good. Motion carries. Thank you very much, Mike. Thank you very much, SVEA. Okay, and I think we move on. Yep. Approval of licensed professional salary schedule, stipend. Mike.
Yeah, this is an update to an update. So we most recently brought this to you a couple sessions ago where we added a wellness coordinator to the licensed professional salary schedule. Since then, we have seemed it reasonable and prudent to also put on the salary schedule that all the positions on it, which include an occupational therapist, would receive a master's or doctorate stipend. And that would be the same stipend that all of our certificated staff and classified and certificated management get if they have those advanced degrees as well. So I'm requesting permission to add the stipend for the advanced degrees.
Very good. Thank you. Questions, trustees? Questions from the public? Seeing none, then can I get a motion to approve the licensed professional salary schedule update to include stipends?
So moved?
I second.
Very good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much, Mike. Moving on to educational services. Now it's Kathy's turn, right?
So Kathy has the bulk of the meeting tonight, as we call it, the Kathy Show. Some of this information you have seen before, so we will move through it quickly unless you have questions, and other information is new. So item number 1.
Thank you. Good evening. As I move through the presentations, it might be some acrobatics Zoom. First, I'm going to start with local. That one. Is this more friendly? Oh, yes, that's better. Okay. Thank you. All right. First presentation for tonight is our local indicators, which is part of our LCAP presentation. Okay, I'm getting used to this. Thank you. So with the LCAP, we have our dashboard state indicators, and those are quantitative data. That's when we look at performance data, the CASP, our LPAC scores, things like that. And then we have our local indicators. So that's what I'll be going over tonight. And there are 5 local indicators. These are both qualitative and quantitative. It's a self-reflection that we do as a district. And there are 3 categories of performance: met, not met, or not met for 2 years. And we are in the met category for the 5 areas. Annually, we measure the progress in these state priorities. We report the results tonight. And we also report the results to the state to go through the dashboard. We collect the data through our annual family surveys, reviewing instructional materials, our relationships and communications with staff and students, ongoing teacher surveys of professional development. So after each of our full PD days, we ask for feedback from the teachers. And then also through our leadership and administrative meetings, collaborations, and we discuss all how we are doing. All right, so LCFF 1 is the basics: teachers, instructional materials, and facilities. we have a new acronym for you, TAMO. Teacher Assignment and Monitoring Outcomes. So that we're always in a year or two back in data for the way it's reported through the state. So from 23-24, we had 86.5% of our staff that are clear and one teacher that was out of the field. Clear doesn't mean clear credential. I hold a clear credential. So you get your preliminary credential, you take additional courses, and then you clear it. The state will be changing the term because it's confusing. But clear indicates that all the attributes necessary to teach that course, you are clear to teach it, and it's all aligned. Like, yeah, okay, looking at HR. And then out of field indicates that they are, one of the more attributes of the assignment were not authorized, and so they have maybe a short-term waiver. All of our facilities are in good repair according to the FIT report, and our students have access to appropriate instructional materials. For implementation of state academic standards, that's something we're really good at doing. We provide professional learning in all of our adopted curriculum and beyond, focused on standards. We ensure that our curriculum is aligned to those standards. We implement policies to support staff in identifying areas of improvement, and we implement the academic standards also. And through, we identify the needs for our teachers and provide professional learning to support them. Parent and family engagement is area 3. Here we would go through, we'd score ourselves on a rating of 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest in each of the areas. And we pride ourselves in building our relationships with our community. We have the multicultural flair, the food truck Fridays. We've had parent engagement nights. We send out our survey to seek input from the community. One area that we want to keep building capacity is partnering with our families, meeting them, through the MTSS process, or our multi-tiered systems of support. One of our stops is communicate with the family first, building that relationship and partnership for supporting students. It's hard when you're a secondary teacher and you have 150 students to be that close, but we're trying with the time that we have. At staff meetings, we're hoping to have time for family outreach. So carve out that first 5 minutes to do some of that family outreach would be really helpful. Kind of like bell work when a student comes in the classroom and they have an activity when they first sit down. And then some teachers have been providing notes to students with specific areas where they need help, like, oh, your child is missing this assignment, or things like that, or sending out emails. But I heard that some teachers are doing handwritten notes too, which was nice. So those are areas that we're looking to grow. For school climate in 2024 and 25, we participated in the California Healthy Kids Survey, and we will participate again in that next year. We continue with our positive behavior interventions and supports. We continue with our Rethink Ed social emotional learning lessons through kindergarten through 8th grade. And our community connections calendar is utilized regularly by our teachers in providing that diversity, equity, inclusion lessons to our students. Access to a broad course of study. So this is where we look at our enrollment, student interest, opportunities for our students for other courses, such as IB, CTE, dual enrollment. We'll be discussing some more opportunities that we're hopefully adding to increase this broad course of study. Some barriers, of course, are our lack of funding and a small master schedule to try and bring all those opportunities to our students. We are going to continue with our focus on mathematics. We want to increase our CTE offerings. We are increasing our dual enrollment courses with Brio, which is very exciting. Are there any questions?
Trustees? I just wanted to make one comment.
Yes.
On pages 16 and 17, you rightly called out that we're continuing to see increases in self-reported student data, that students in high school are experiencing increases in both emotional distress and chronic sadness at a concerning level. It's definitely an area of focus for the district, and I applaud the district for all the efforts we've been putting here. Despite recent budget cuts, we are trying to maintain student supports through the new SEL curriculum, through Hope Squad, and the Wellness Center. So I know there have been questions in the past about, well, why are we doing some of these things? And I would just point people to these pages and this data that shows we need to be paying attention to this. It was in the news this morning that the UK is going to ban social media for kids under 16. I applaud that. I would love for us to do something like that as well here in the United States, because I know how much angst and stress and chronic sadness, honestly, these social media activities have had, and I know teachers are dealing with these in the classroom. So I know you don't want to be school psychologists all the time, but you're having to deal with some of these things, right? So I think the Wellness Center, Hope Squad, the SEL curriculum are all vital elements of the support that we do. And anyone who's questioning those priorities should be reading this report. All right, public, any questions or comments? All right. Just information, right? Yep, exactly. Okay, thank you, Kathy, for that report. Moving on to number 2, approval of the dual enrollment agreement.
Give me just a moment.
No problem. Yep, we're all learning the new technologies here.
It's a lot of clicks. Almost there. Perfect.
Excellent.
All right, so we are bringing to you the updated amendment to our CCAP agreement with Cabrillo College. And we're very excited to bring some additional programming for our high school students. So with the program, we want to add a few more courses, which I'll show you in a minute, but we're hoping to serve at least 75 students or more. We will have 2 of our very own high school teachers teaching these Cabrillo courses. And we're hoping to support ourselves and other high schools in the community. So San Lorenzo Valley High partners with us, as well as Oasis, which is a independent school, and possibly even Santa Cruz City Schools will be sending folks over.
Great.
So we're really excited. So the courses that we are intending to offer for our students next year, we're looking at them as pathways. So for the first 2 lines, we have Spanish 10A, Conversational Spanish, Intermediate Conversational Spanish, who will be taught by our teacher, Kay Redmond. That would be semester 1. And then semester 2 would be Spanish 10B, which is Advanced Conversational Spanish. So in 1 year, students will get 6 college courses or college credits. Thank you.
Great.
And so we're excited to offer that. And that's where we have students from SLV joining us, Oasis, and potentially Santa Cruz City Schools.
Nice.
For our art pathway, there's 3 lines, but it's 2 semesters. So we have DM1, Intro to Digital Media. That's a Cabrillo 4 credit course. Amy Shivitz, who is one of our teachers, will be co-teaching that with a Cabrillo faculty member. Through the Cabrillo's collective bargaining agreement, they have the right of first refusal for teaching a course, and they had a faculty member who wanted to teach this course, so they'll be teaching it together. The second semester, Amy Shivas will be teaching Intro to Photography, and the co-current or the co-requisite gallery viewing lab. She will be teaching that on her own, not with a Cabrillo faculty member. So that's very exciting to have our teachers teach those courses. They are very excited. And our medical terminology we've had, I believe this is our 2nd year. And so we're going into our 3rd year with the same faculty member, and the students really do enjoy his course.
Excellent.
I'm excited for these opportunities for our students. They can have early college success. There's pathways. Integrating our own teachers, and that they get to be on our campus, but taking college courses. And we use both facilities. We use the high school and the middle school. The medical terminology is hosted at the middle school so other students can get there more easily also from other districts.
Gotcha. Nice.
Are there any questions?
No.
So I just want to say we've been trying for a really long time
Mm-hmm.
to get dual enrollment on our campuses for our students. And it's been a bit of a laborious process. Kathy and Mike have gone through this year and working with the Cabrillo faculty. We were hoping for a few more courses, but at least we were able to get these to the goal line, and we are hoping to add more in the future. Having our own teachers teach this and allowing our students to get both high school and community college credit. We are really, really excited that we're able to offer this. So thank you for putting all that together.
Well, how does this compare, like when my kids were in high school, Scotts Valley here? My son Bryce, take college courses, but it wasn't in conjunction. Yeah, he actually went to.
So he went to Cabrillo, and
Yes.
it's called articulation. So they had articulation courses, and they still did get credit, but it's not dual enrollment credit at the same time. Where a lot of our students do go to Cabrillo to get additional units. But this is on our campus. They don't have to travel, and they get both high school. It's not concurrent enrollment, it's dual enrollment. So enrolled actually in both a high school and college at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it brings it to the students. Right. Great. Good questions. Any other questions, trustee? Any questions or comments from the public? We're excited to see this roll out and looking forward to hearing how students take advantage of it in the coming year. Excellent. Now, this one is something we need to approve. So can I get a motion to approve the dual enrollment agreement with Cabrillo College?
I motion to approve.
Excellent.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. On to number 3, approval of Scotts Valley High School course Honors Chemistry.
All right, I'm going to do my clicks. Oops, but I can't see my Zoom. Hold on. It's not working. Mhm. I must be going out of order. I keep losing my Zoom, so then I can't share. All right, let's try this again. Oh, I have to make it small. Was that click? Okay. Whoa, my sound effects. Wow. Okay, this will be just like in the classroom and the students start telling you what you're doing wrong on the computer because they know better. Okay. Honors chemistry. So this is a course that we would like to add also for our students looking at the broad course of study. We found we have our general chemistry course, and we found we have population of students who are ready to excel and move faster, and it also prepares them for more accurately prepares them for the IB course of study. So by adding the honors chemistry, I've got some great words here. Julie, you tell me if I mess them up. They will go through more expanded units, nuclear chemistry, intermolecular forces, and stoichiometry. That's such a great word. Yes.
Nicely done.
So more advanced concepts. They will be able to formulate their own experimental procedures, use more instrumentation, go beyond the claims evidence reasoning summaries and into a more in-depth lab report, and also work on more advanced problem-solving skills, including mathematical modeling. They can take this concurrently with Math 3, Honors Math 3, or even Math Academy 2. There'll be an integration of the NGSS science standards and practices. They'll be at a faster pace, and it will focus on the disciplinary core ideas and the cross-cutting concepts, all part of the next generation science standards. What this does, it creates a pathway for students. So they start their freshman year in biology, they can go to honors chemistry, and then they're prepared for IB chemistry HL. And I realized after I created this, it also prepares them for IB biology. So really going on that faster pace will set them up for success. Any questions?
I do have a comment.
Yes.
Anyone here remember Jessica Granger Jones?
Yes, I
Mhm.
taught her brother, John.
Okay. I think it was last week she defended her doctoral thesis in chemistry,
Oh, wow.
In nuclear
Okay.
chemistry?
in nuclear chemistry.
Wow.
And she is now a doctorate in nuclear chemistry with a postdoc somewhere up in Washington State.
Hmm,
So
that's
this high
awesome.
school did good.
Awesome. That's great.
That's fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Any other?
I have a question regarding how many kids you anticipate enrolling in this course for the fall? Do you have an idea?
I don't have that memorized, but it was going to be 2 regular chem and 2 honors chem.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, that was gonna be my question as well. And I like what we're doing, taking 4 sections of general chemistry and splitting it up so that there's a little bit more opportunity to serve both populations
Mhm.
and meet their needs more effectively, and then provide that pathway, a better transition into IB Chem, right? So yeah, I'm excited about new opportunity. I'm looking forward to seeing how the attendance does work out,
Mhm.
but looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Stoichiometry,
Stoichiometry.
that's right.
Yeah. And that's also that concurrent math component also.
Yeah, I had the same question, but then I looked at the second attachment, which is in more depth, and it talks about what the proposed prerequisites are.
Mhm.
Yeah. So there are some guidelines to help the teachers make good decisions. Just happy about that. Great. Well, then, can I get a motion to approve our SVHS course for honors chemistry?
So moved.
I second.
Very good. All in favor?
Yes.
Aye. None opposed. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Honors chemistry, here we come.
Woohoo.
Yes. All right. Approval of the ELOP plan. Love to say ELOP.
Exactly. ELOP is fun.
Yeah.
All right, let me get this share. I am so much faster on all my clicks this time. There we go.
Well, look at that. Record time.
Faster. It'll be muscle memory in no time.
That's right.
All right, our expanded learning opportunity program. So the state provides funding for specific students to receive expanded learning opportunities before and after school, and also during 30 days of intercession time. So I've wanted to brand ours as Scotts Valley Expanded Learning and calling it SVXL.
Mhm.
There we go. Move that. All right, perfect. So like I said, it's 9 hours of combined instructional time. So that's including our instructional day and then the additional hours after school to get to a total of 9 hours, and also 30 intercession days per year. It's primarily for students who are foster youth experiencing homelessness, qualify for free and reduced lunch. And then we have enrollment priorities. So those 3 are first enrollment priority, then our multilingual learners. And after that, if we still have space and opportunity, previously enrolled students or all other interested students that are available for what opportunities we might have. So the purpose is to support the whole child and provide them with enrichment activities they might not have the opportunities to experience outside of the school setting. It provides families with some flexible options. We partner with Boys and Girls Club and Champions, so it gives them options for who they may want to work with in sending their students for after school care. And it's safe, it's supervised, meaningful activities, often standards based. It aligns with our mission and vision and our LCAP goals as well. Like I said, we have 2 partners, Champions and Boys and Girls Club. Champions we've been working with for several years. They've been our on-site provider for TK through 5th grade at both Brook Knoll and Vine Hill. This year they'll be homed at the middle school during construction. They provide homework help, enrichment activities. They have seasonal curriculum that's part of their program, and the students are involved in physical activities, recess, play-based games, things like that. So this year, we also brought on the Boys and Girls Club as an off-site provider, and they can provide services for our TK through sixth grade students. The program is for TK through sixth grade students only, and it's off-site at their clubhouse. We have transportation from Brook Knoll, and they do a walking transportation from Vine Hill. They provide homework help, tutoring, enrichment activities as well, and physical activities. Each of them have their own schedules of what they do. And then we added on our own component this year, part of the SVXL, which is our teacher-led programming. So for students who are on-site with champions, they have the opportunity to participate in additional standards-based enrichment provided by our teachers. We opened it up for teachers across the district. So we had high school teachers come and participate and provide programming for students. And one of the teachers, he told me it was one of the most rewarding things he did, which is really fantastic. And so that's for our TK through fifth grade students. Next year, we want to expand that. We want each elementary functions in trimesters, but if we think about it in terms of semesters, for each semester, I would like to have 3 sessions for students to attend. So teachers can be teaching up to 3 different 6-week windows for students, these different programming. And so we will also bring on a program coordinator. This is already an employee of our district, but she will help with the communication. We need to let them know about our opportunities for them, communicate with Champions and Boys and Girls Club. There's, we have to there's a lot of back and forth to make the program run. We also can run our attendance recovery through the SVXL portion, that the teacher-led portion. So she will be managing the attendance recovery and synergy input and recruiting teachers to work on the programming after school and managing the audit process for the state. So here are some pictures of our students doing the SVXL outdoor education. So they did a lot of measurement, nature, time, activities. All the teachers also include a reading and writing component. They had nature journals. Here's our little chef's club, which was our kinder and first grade students learning about measurement and cutting and cooking. So adorable.
Mm-hmm.
We also had adventure hikes. So the first one was through Vine Hill. This adventure hikes was at Brook Knoll. So they would go into Henry Cowell and learn about native plants and wildlife and Ohlone history. We had musical explorers at Vine Hill. So first and second graders working on their musical skills. And at Brook Knoll, we had a 4th grade teacher working with kinder and first grade students on social emotional learning and self-regulation. So a variety of activities.
And these happen before and after school?
All this happens after school.
After school, okay.
Yes, too early.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering about. It's like, man, okay.
Yeah.
So after school for the kids that are already in Champions?
Correct.
Okay, that's what I was wondering about. Great. Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right.
Kathy, did you say that you made up another acronym?
Do you want a new one?
No.
No, ELOP is a California state one. Oh, yeah, SVXL.
But SVXL, it's
Yep.
all about branding. Right?
Mhm.
Well, I just wanted to say, as I shared in my update, that in the prior few years, our primary ELOP program was Champions.
Mhm.
And Kathy took my request and expanded our offerings in partnering with the Boys and Girls Club, and then went even further to offer these additional in-district opportunities for kids to pay our own staff to provide.
Mhm.
And I'm pleased with the expansion of our ELOP program and look to do more next year.
Now, what I want to point out for the benefit of our vast audience is all of it, as I understand it, all of this funding comes from the ELOP fund and does not take a penny from general fund, right?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely.
And the fact that you rolled in attendance recovery into here means we're no longer paying for the attendance recovery services that we were formerly paying for out of the general fund, as I recall. And now ELOP is going to pay for that.
Correct. It'll be managed through that.
Yeah, managed,
Mhm.
right, exactly.
Absolutely.
Clever ways to get more of that state money that we otherwise would not have access to. So thank you, and better services for our kids. So that's awesome.
It's
All right. Well then, questions from the public? Can I get a motion to approve the Expanded Learning Opportunities Program Plan?
So moved.
I second.
Very good. All in favor?
I,
Aye. None opposed. Motion carries unanimously. Now we move on to the pinnacle of a year's worth of effort to approve the Scotts Valley Unified School District Local Control Accountability Plan, budget overview of parents, and federal addendum. See, I talked longer to help cover the time there, see, and that worked out.
All right. Thank you. That was perfect. All right, so we met last month at the board meeting and I presented the LCAP, the draft, and here we are at the final. And we will go through this pretty quickly. So since last time we met, I did update the plan summary with our IXL and local reading and Dibbles assessment data. And also I updated for the local data for goal 1 as well, because we were waiting for our end of the year data. Other than that, there were no other changes made to the LCAP as presented in May. There were no requests or comments for changes, so it's going to hold as it is. Lucy, I'm glad you read the whole thing. So hopefully you saw some, you and I have some of the favorite things, supporting multilingual learners and literacy and of course math, but it's all in there. We have the budget overview for parents available for people who, if they didn't see it last time. So I'm just going to click through it because we reviewed it last time.
That's right.
And there's the comments on the federal addendum, which is also attached. Our next steps, we're going to communicate the LCAP to staff members, implementing and monitoring the action steps, finalizing the school plans for student achievement, and report on our progress throughout the year.
Mm-hmm. Excellent.
Any
Very
questions?
good. Questions? Questions from the public? All right. Can I get a motion to approve and adopt the Scotts Valley Unified School District 26-27 Local Control Accountability Plan?
so moved.
I second.
All in favor? Aye. None opposed. Motion carries unanimously. The LCAP is approved. Thank you, Kathy. All right, now I have a little bit of work to do. Boy, this is tough. Public hearing. Section N, business public hearing to receive comments on 26-27 budget adoption. I'm opening our public hearing at 7:09 p.m. Any public members wishing to comment, come forth and be heard. All right, I will close the public hearing at 7:10 p.m. That was not an entire minute, just in case you were counting, but I got a good 20 seconds out of that one. All right, we moved to number 2 then, adopting the Scotts Valley Unified School District 26-27 budget. Mr. Hanson.
Yes, hello again. So I am here on behalf of our district to ask you to approve our adopted budget for the upcoming 26-27 school year. You've already been presented this budget at our last meeting when it was presented in its draft form. No requests were made for any additions by the board, so we are bringing back to you the exact same budget. There's 3 attachments associated with this budget item. One is a reserve statement. We do have a ed code requirement to state if we have more than a 3% reserve, which we will have next year. But that little worksheet shows that in the 3rd year out, we barely have a 3% reserve due to the deficit spending. So that is a requirement. You also have the SACS budget document. SACS, S-A-C-S, stands for Standardized Account Code Structure System, if you wanted to check that off of your acronym list.
Was that on your bingo card, Gary?
And the other document is our 3-year budget summary, which we call the long sheet. It is also our multi-year projection. And just a couple things as a reminder, in this adopted budget, we are using the January governor's assumptions. We know that the May revise adjusted those. The state has, the legislature has now adopted theirs and reconciled between the two houses. And now it's on the governor's desk to reconcile with them. And as part of this budget, there still is $537,000 in cuts for next year that we have committed to make. And there are $1 million of one-time monies that we will receive next year that are already committed to make us positive. So just reiterating those points because I think they're important. So when we get the governor's, or actually the state adopted budget, we will crunch the numbers and bring those back to you within 45 days and see how it all fits together then.
Right. So it's the budget in August that would actually reflect the reality. And we had that conversation at the last board meeting that we weren't going to do two turns on this. We'll simply wait until the numbers settle.
Yes.
Good.
So
All
with
right.
that, I ask you any questions or to adopt budget.
Trustees, any questions? Public, any questions?
I don't have a question, but I just
Good,
do
yeah.
have a comment regarding our 3% reserve, which I do just want to really highlight. It would be really, really important that we get above that 3%. We were at 6% for a millisecond. That's it. I think that's really important for the longevity of our district to be able to get above that 3% as quickly as possible.
Comment? Good. All right. Seeing no other questions or comments, can I get a motion to approve our 26-27 budget?
So moved.
I second.
Very good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? We have a budget until it changes again.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Mike. And then moving on to, resolutions. Who's the bird moving around the building? Okay. All right, we now need to adopt board resolution number 26037, authorizing year-end budget adjustments for the 25-26 budget closing process.
Yep. So asking the board to approve this resolution between this board meeting and the next board meeting that we have. Our business office is closing the books. This pre-approval of the budget adjustments will assure that the district can remain in compliance, won't have to come back and ask for a board meeting every time they have to make some budget transfers. So this is an annual resolution that we bring at the end of every year and asking for your approval.
Very good. Trustees, any questions? Questions from the endearing public? No? All right. Can I get a motion to approve board resolution number 26-037, authorizing year-end budget adjustments?
I motion to approve.
Second.
Since this is a resolution, it requires a roll call vote. Stephanie, how do you vote?
Aye.
Harry?
Yep.
Lucia?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. Moving on to the next resolution, adopt board resolution number 26038 to authorize employees to sign payroll, always important, and vendor warrant orders and other district documents for fiscal year 26-27.
So due to some upcoming changes in personnel, I'm asking that the board approve the identified employees to authorize and sign payroll, vendor warrant orders, and other district documents. That would include myself, Mike Hansen, and Casino Fajardo.
Our new incoming CBO. Woo. Trustees, any questions? Public, any questions? Nope. All right. Can I get a motion to adopt board resolution number 26038?
So moved.
I second.
Great. Since it's a resolution, it requires a roll call vote. Stephanie, how do you vote?
Aye.
Harry?
Yes.
Lucia?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. Excellent. The resolutions just keep rolling. Can we get now to adopt board resolution number 26039, the education protection account? Sounds so much more powerful than it really is, but the education protection account.
Yeah, so there are requirements for what we call the EPA. And a requirement of the article, Prop 30, is that the Board of Education shall make spending determinations with respect to monies received from the EPA in open session of a public meeting. You can see the attachment here. This was prepared by Veronica, and all of the EPA funds that we have received of $402,690 all went to instruction-related services.
That's you all.
Yep.
Questions, trustees? Public? All right. Can I get a motion to approve board resolution number 26039?
I motion to approve.
I second.
Thank you very much. Roll call vote for another board resolution. Stephanie, how do you vote?
Yes.
Barry?
Aye.
Yes.
And I vote aye as well. Very good. All right. Fun raft of board resolutions. Now we move on to the ever popular consolidated application, or as we lovingly call the Con App.
Con App. So when you consolidate these dollars, you don't add up to very much.
Nope.
So we have to show at least twice a year. We bring this forward and they change the dates based on when they actually give you the application to complete. But we're showing here that for 24-25 in Title II, we received $37,594. That was expended in PD salaries and benefits. We also received $18,926 for Title III English Learner year-to-date expenditures. We spent most of that on program salaries and benefits. We had a little bit on books and supplies and services. 25-26 Title II, $42,444. And that was expended, travel and conference, certificated personnel salaries and benefits. And then for 25-26 Title III, another whopping $18,000. However, we did save some of these dollars because we had other budgets that we could spend from, so we can carry over the unspent funds of $13,340. And then for the 26-27, we estimate a program allocation of $8,413. Remember when Kathy talked about all of the reclassifications that we have, then our EL count went down. We have more, long-term ELLs, but that does impact our federal funding. So it is required that we bring this expenditure report to you, 24-25, 25-26, and then anticipated for 26-27 for Title III. And this requires board approval.
Very good. Questions, trustees? We'll take the federal money when we can get it. Wish it were more, that's for sure. Public questions? Nope. All right, then can I get a motion to approve our consolidated application?
I motion to approve.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Moving on to some contracts. Approve the amended contract for Jarvis Engineering for 25-26.
Okay, so last year at this time, I brought forward a contract for Mike Smith for the facility supervisor position. Over the course of the year, you also approved a bond manager job description. He served in both roles this year, and our auditors recommended that we wait until the end of the year to calculate how many hours he applied to each service and then paid accordingly. And so at our second interim report, as you recall, not knowing what his hours would be, we had kind of split his salary 50-50. So that would actually help the general fund bottom line based on where we were at that time. Now that he has submitted his hours, it's actually a 35-65 split, 35% bond, 65% from the general fund for the district position. That contract had a total of 1,960 hours in it. I submitted all these documents for the board agenda last Friday. And subsequent to that, Mr. Smith has informed me that he will run out of his hours this month, like soon. And so we may need to bring back a slight addendum for him to be able to provide any services to the bond for the rest of the month. So since we're going to have a special board meeting for a couple other items, I want to have more clarity on what the totality of those hours would be before I just put hours on a piece of paper. But for this purpose and the intent of this purpose, when it was submitted for the agenda, it was solely to be able to make the adjustment between the bond account and the general fund account for the hours performed this year.
Right.
So that's the first action I'm asking you to take.
Understood. Questions, trustees? Public? All right. Can I get approval, get a motion to approve the amended contract for Jarvis Engineering for 25-26?
So moved.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Then we move on to the contract for 26-27.
So for 26-27, we are then bringing forward kind of two separate contracts, making an estimation that for the next year, he'll spend, as we know it, we talk in terms of FTE. He's an independent contractor, so it's more hours, but he would be a 0.25 district facility supervisor. And then the next contract that I'm bringing would be a 0.75 paid out of the bond. You will see on the classified personnel action report that we are looking to promote one of our maintenance employees to a lead facilities specialist to pick up some of that additional district work. But Mike would still be on site per se to be able to provide that assistance. So for 25-26, Mike also carried forward the same hourly rate as he had in current year. Since no employees in the district received salary increases, he did not ask for one either.
Right, his rate remained the same as before.
Yes.
Okay. Very good. Questions, trustees, on the new contract? Okay, and again, this split is based on your best information. It may actually change.
It might.
Look. Very good. Can I get a motion to approve the contract with Jarvis Engineering for 26-27?
So moved.
I second.
Very good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Motion carries unanimously. Moving on then to the other portion, the bond program manager agreement.
So as I said, this would be paid out of bond funds at approximately what we call 0.75 FTE. There's also a number of hours in here, not to exceed 1,500. And I did this split also knowing that Casino's coming in with some bond experience. Well, he'll be picking up some of the duties that Mike has taken on in current year. So we're hoping this division of work is accurate, but we'll find out as we move through the course of the year.
Right. Makes sense. Questions, trustees? Public? Very good. Can I get a motion rather to approve the bond program manager agreement?
So moved.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed? Very good. Oh, back to resolutions. Can we now move to board resolution 26040, approval of the district representative to Joint Powers Authority?
And 10.
Yeah.
So again, this is a kind of an exciting moment. Maybe not for Casino, but so this then brings forward both Casino Fajardo and Mike Hansen as the primary and alternates for our JPA, for both our property and liability as well as our workers' comp. My name isn't on there.
Yes, it's a good
I
sign.
know.
Love it.
So I'm asking for approval.
Yep. Trustees, questions? Good to take Tanya's name off of something. Public? Questions? Very good. Can I get a motion to approve Board Resolution 26040, approval of district representatives to the Joint Powers Authority?
Motion to approve?
I second.
Excellent. It is a board resolution requiring a roll call vote. Stephanie, how do you vote?
Yes.
Harry?
Yes.
Lucia?
Yes.
And I vote yes as well. Very good. Moving on to O, Student Services. Number 1, approval of the health curriculum for Scotts Valley High School.
So Kathy's going to take this item.
She's going to the podium this time.
She is.
Yeah.
All right, just a little bit of variety.
All right. So I'm bringing this forward for approval on behalf of Student Services. Nadia Skolkoff and the health teaching team worked really hard on identifying what we need for our health curriculum. They got together in the fall, reviewed the new health frameworks and the California Health Youth Act, and looked for any gaps that we had in our curriculum and where we needed to supplement or supplant. So after that, they identified the needs, then they looked at curriculum and selected a new curriculum for the high school. And that is called Essential Health Skills for High School from Goodhart Wilcox Publishers. The other grade levels, so the elementary and middle school, they're going to continue with the curriculum they have and just renew what we have. So I'd like to bring this forward for approval.
Very good. Trustees, any questions? Oh,
I guess the question I have is how does it for respect previous?
How is it different from the previous curriculum? The curriculum, I don't remember the year. It's quite dated. I think the health teacher has used it as a student in our district. So that gives you some time. And a lot has changed in our knowledge of health and policies and everything else that we
We
need.
also had to supplement current required health standards that were not included in those textbooks.
Yeah, thank you.
So the biggest change obviously is at the high school, but also that it was the high school health teacher that weighed in heavily on making this selection.
Public questions? Very good. Then can I get a motion to approve the health curriculum for Scotts Valley High School?
So moved.
I second.
Very good. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed, motion carries. And then we move into board policies. First reading, first or final reading. Are there any questions or any BPs that people wanted to have conversation about?
And we have 2 board policies and the rest are board bylaws.
Mhm.
So I'll just share a few things on graduation requirements. When the state updates graduation requirements, our high school's graduation requirements already exceed the state. And so every time a new policy comes, we have to compare the changes to what we already have. Many times it's not even as much of a requirement as is already in place. So the one major change in here is personal finance, which has been legislated by the state of California, has to start in the 27-28 year as a required 1-semester course. There are some considerations for districts to be able to replace economics with this course and some other possibilities that we will be looking into over the course of the year. This high school board policy also updates to require comprehensive high schools to make changes for students who are considered highly mobile, where sometimes comprehensive high schools don't always fully accept partial credit, and now they will be required to. And then the other board policy is for students with disabilities, and we had updated that policy very recently, so there were very minor changes to that particular policy. And the rest are board bylaws.
Okay. Trustees, any questions or comments? I wanted to make one comment on the board bylaw 9250. Just to point this out, there was a law passed last year that allowed districts to update the rate at which trustees are paid their stipends because it hadn't been updated in 40 years. So a number of districts throughout the state this year took that opportunity to update their bylaws to allow for an increase in the stipend. This board continued to agree that we will not receive compensation for this role. So despite the efforts we do put in for the benefit of this district, we are going to continue to not take a stipend. So even though 40 years have gone by and we could increase, we could multiply 0 by like 2 times. And I think our math teacher would agree that would still be 0. Okay. I just want to make that comment on behalf of the board. Thank you.
We do it because it's so much fun.
That's right. There you go. It pays other dividends, right? All right. the smiles on children's faces, Lucia. That's the dividend. Wow, okay, that was a softball. Thanks for that one. Okay, so can I get a motion to approve for first and final reading of the board policies attached?
I approve. I mean, no, yeah, motion to approve.
Very
I
good.
second.
Excellent. All in favor?
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
I'm abstaining. I didn't get a chance to read all early.
Okay. Thank you for your honesty, Gary. Appreciate that. So we have a motion carries with a passage of 3 and 1 abstention. That moves us on to lots and lots of BPs, the consent agenda. Are there any questions or comments or any items from consent that trustees would like to pull?
I have a couple comments.
Please.
I'm really excited to see that Phil Allegre Electric will be working with us at Vine Hill. I know them firsthand because when my parents had to have a generator put in their home here in Scotts Valley, the house had to be replumbed entirely. And Phil Electric did that and very pleased with their work. So I just want to give a shout out. I'm really happy with working with them. I also want to bring up Wenger Paving, another organization I'm really happy working with because they did all the paving at my mother-in-law's house. So I have firsthand experience with them as well. And I'm really glad that we're keeping all of it low. I think that's wonderful.
Excellent. Any other questions or comments? Superintendent Krause already pointed out.
I make a comment.
Yeah.
There's somebody amongst us who's been promoted, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should give some congratulations.
That's absolutely, and it's just about to make that, but Gary beat me to it. So go ahead, Gary.
I don't know the exact classification, but I think you went from coordinator to director. Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
And so we have to
If we
approve.
approve, that's right, yes.
That might be a mountain too high.
Oh, my goodness.
When somebody gets half of a new job description,
Mhm.
it's time.
Some nice work this past.
Yeah,
Yes.
well deserved.
Yeah.
Yes, very good. Excellent. Any other questions or comments? Public comments? Okay. Can I get a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. None opposed. Very good. Last thing I will say tonight is, hey, this concludes the Scotts Valley Unified School District Board meeting agenda or calendar, excuse me, for the 25-26 school year. In theory, we will be dark in July, although we've already heard we probably have to have at least one special board meeting, so stay tuned for that one. Our next official public board meeting will be Tuesday, August 11th, as we kick off our 26-27 school year. So I call this meeting adjourned at 7:34 p.m. Enjoy your summer.